having seen every single one of Robin Williams' films, I can say that Moscow on the Hudson is not my favourite for a Robin Williams film, but in terms of the quality of the film, the power of it, how well it's put together, it is a really great film. It was released in 1984, directed by Paul Mazursky and written by Mazursky and Leon Capetanos. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And it's pretty well received, 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, Metascore of 67, had a Golden Globe nomination. The film has done pretty well for itself, and it's easy to see why. I will say this is one of those films where, at least I personally, felt like it was 100% essential to pay attention to it. Now, that may sound obvious, but I find that, there are some films where it's a lot more easy to relax with. This one is quite intense, but still funny. It is a comedy, it is a drama. I think it balances the two genres very well. So I'll read the description from IMDb, but first I want to read the tagline, which I love. I love this. And the tagline for the film is as follows. Vladimir Ivanov walks into a department store to buy blue jeans, walks out with a girlfriend, an immigration lawyer, and a buddy. His life and theirs will never be the same again. I don't know how much sense that will make if you don't know the plot, but it is an absolutely brilliant tagline and I really like it. The description from IMDb, spoiler-free, is as follows. A Russian saxophonist visiting New York with a circus troupe suddenly decides to defect from the USSR during a shopping trip to a department store, but he finds adjusting to American life more difficult than he imagined. Needless to say, Robin Williams plays Vladimir Ivanov, and I think he does this role fantastically well. Although I said it's not one of my favourite Robin Williams films, his performance is brilliant. To be honest, had I been casting this myself, he wouldn't have been the first name that came to mind, but when you see him performing this role, it's so powerful. He blends the comedy with the more dramatic scenes so effectively. That's done both with his acting and also in the script. It's wonderful to see. I am not the most knowledgeable about the USSR. I don't know that much about this character's background or what his background would have been. That's one of the reasons why I really have to pay full attention to this film so that I don't miss anything. But that's not a problem because it's very easy to pay attention to. It's not necessarily the easiest watch because of the subject matter, but it is easy to pay attention to and it flows beautifully from start to finish. It's quite long. I think it's nearly about 2 hours. The time goes by quite quickly. The performances are great, the casting's great, the narrative's really engaging, very entertaining, emotional when it needs to be. As I said, the balance is really very beautiful. Robin's performance was just fabulous. I can't fault the film. And it's just, as I said, it's not one of my favourite Robin Williams films, and that's because there are so many amazing ones. But this film, judging it as a film, not as a Robin Williams film, it's a brilliant, brilliant film. If you haven't seen it, I think it's worth watching. I think it's a film that everybody should watch. I think it's rated 15, but I think it's something that everybody can get something out of, regardless of the kind of film towards which you tend to gravitate. Personally, I think it's brilliant. Let me know what you think if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, please do try and watch it. Moscow on the Hudson is brilliant.